Hey lovelies! Back again on the build. What did I end up calling this building? This building, I was getting around to the elevators now. I found, and will link, a Fabu elevator build, because I would build mine using the red power switches and logic, but that takes a rather large room at the bottom or top and a lot of wiring. And then I found this one. It uses computer craft, and it supposedly either uses the red power cables or Project Red cables at this point, or it can use the red net cables. Well, I built it in with the red power Project Red. I will eventually call the mod right. Project Red cables, because I was a little bit more comfortable with them because I've used them a lot more than RedNet. But yeah, then I got in and I got to programming it, and it's really a paste bin git of the computer craft code that someone has built for this, and it works like a dream. Not that you'll see me making it work, because I actually struggled with it for a while. Once you initially learn how to do it, it's a really simple and elegant and a lovely solution. But I think at this point I'm coding it in. The whole thing works with wireless routers, so they communicate with each other. It allows you to have multiple elevator shafts, which I've got the 3 on this one, and because of that I just called the building Tertia, because it made me name the building, because it will actually group them like that. If I build another building close enough that the wireless routers in it are also picked up, it will completely ignore these because the building will be named differently. If Tertia means something in a language that I am not aware of, let me know! I like lingual trivia. One thing I did not know about the RedNet cable, and that was what made me avoid it in the first place, is Project Red, you just get the colored wires and you use those. And it's simple. I couldn't figure out how to do that with Project Red. I had to get to the tutorial video for the thing to realize I need a precision sledgehammer. And I still don't get those. I'm gonna have to actually research how those things work, because even in creative, if you have the sledgehammer in your hand and you try to break a block to reach something, it just removes it. And then when you try to break something else, it places the block you removed. I'm like, what's going on? You can see in the bottom of the floor above that I am switching it to the red net at this point, which is kind of cool because you can actually put the red net together and use a precision hammer and tell it to not connect on that one side, which required micro blocks with the cabling. And I think I got angry at something and ripped everything out. Yeah, I think I got angry because I'm like, now there's not going to be any room for a walkway, because I decided that shops and living were going to be to the outside of the building, which means I'm probably going to put in balconies later. But there's going to be a walkway towards the center atrium, and for the boarding rail required for the elevators, I'm just like, nobody's gonna be able to walk around that easily, so I got to kind of set that in and push things back. And tried to not place everything in complete detail and do it one at a time, because I'm a dink. Sometimes bite off more than I can chew. It looked simple enough, I swear. And once you figure it out, it is. It requires, what is that, a boarding rail, a computer, a wireless modem, what is that, a detector of some sort? Yeah. Yeah, and then the elevator track, so it's computer craft, railcraft, and whatever mod RedNet cable comes in. And some vanilla Minecraft. These are some complicated elevators, let me tell you. And you can see the cart going. I got it figured out. I was so excited. I think I took some victory laps riding in the elevator. Because it even has an interface on the thing. You don't have to code anything. It has a nice UI. You select the floor. As you code them in, you name the floors. And all my props to the designer of this, because it makes me happy. So I finally figured out that one, got it down to a logic, and was putting in the second one. Which, second time around, it's a lot faster. Also, with my design that used all Project Red, it was button interface, and I could not figure out how to make it not be. But it was button interface, and it ended up at the highest, being 5 floors at the very tip end of the walkway of this building. And you can't even, I mean, by the time you get in the cart, you can't reach the buttons, and they have to have a block in between them to isolate, or micro blocks, and I couldn't figure out how to make it work. So I caved to someone who knows how to code. To those of you out there that know how to code, thank you very much. Y'all keep coding, I'll keep building. I got that one working in record time, so then it was off to figure out how on earth I was going to work the diagonal. This place looks really drab in concrete, oh my gosh. Concrete, glowstone, and exposed wiring. How industrial. As I decide which side I actually want the computer on. Huh. A little bit of a dizzy view in the atrium here. You can see on the left it's purple! After much fiddling, I figured that out. Tried to work the rails and jam the whole system up because I hadn't color coded. Oh yay! Aesthetic and color! I think that's quarried stone and frostbound brick. Just because the blue and white combo is really nice. I never understand why, when modern architecture is built, it's always built with just white. I'm like, you need some color. I'm gonna need you to do some color. So, everything I build is going to have, you know, more than shades of gray. It needs it for my well-being and soul. So I figured covering over the wiring was the most important part. And finishing off the edge around the tree, and I just kind of meandered. I was trying to figure out exactly where I wanted to do what. Using the quarried stone to cover in the workings of the elevator actually made a pretty good exit for it. I decided on the top, with as much light as it's gonna get from being open-topped, that it definitely, well, not open-topped, but bubble-topped, bubble dome, that up here was gonna be the larger park, for at least the top spiral of it. Now in the Ellie Ward design, they planned on it being more than 5 stories. I think the entire plan of the building was that the spiral was going to be a mile long, so on each floor there was a small park type setting, but I figured with only 5 floors I could get away with having the park up top. So, starting to put in the dirt and the grass because it needs it. You can definitely see the biome differences though. I think here along the shore it's actually a wetland of some sort. I don't think it's a swamp though. I don't know. It puts some delineation in the park though, and I'm cool with that. As I work off screen, because my cameraman is still on strike as far as paying attention. Every park needs water accents. That's what I was doing off screen. Every park needs water accents, and then trying to figure out the plants is half the fun. There's actually 2 types of willows. One that is put in by Natura and one that's put in by Biomes Plenty. I think this one is the Natura one, and while I really like how it looks, whenever I bopped off even one bit of leaves to try to clear some headroom, the whole tree would just lose all of its leaves. So I ended up replanting and bone mealing them again. Then I was fiddling around with chisel stuff and trying to figure out a path. I think I'm using chiseled dirt there just to keep it, but if your park is the top of a building, you don't think your paths are going to hold up very well as dirt. So I upgraded them to some sort of chiseled either stone or limestone paving. That one's a biomes aplenty. Willow tree. I thought it would cooperate more and not, you know, weep all of its leaves off as soon as I bopped it. Also putting in berry plants and flowers up there. That's what I'm doing over there, as well as stairs. Because, oh come on, dirt and parks are totally underrated for their ability to provide food. Just ask the guerrilla gardeners. Also, I changed up on the stairs and the paths. Since the chisel has so many varieties, I did try to beat up the path a little bit. Keep it a little more naturalized, I guess. Oh, also did frostbound brick fencing to keep ding-dings from falling in the atrium. Let's see, I think that's maple, and I think that's a plum tree. I think that one's an apple, and then another maple. I decided I'd put some fruit trees on this side of it, because again, dirt and parks are really good for actually providing food. And we've about made it around to the first floor, so can actually start putting in some places to live and work, or both. I decided on this that I would take a note from a visit to Amsterdam, and a lot of European cities actually run with this. I was gonna do brick for construction, but I didn't want to have this like agonizing sameness to it. So the Magic Crops infused bricks come in all colors, so I will be using those for my interior walls. And for the main walkway area, wood has a bit more give to it than stone underfoot for walking, so I wanted to give it that bit of warmth since the building itself has a lot of stone and a lot of brick, but I think that's an oak and spruce just to change it up, make it more interesting. Avoid the massive sameness that happens in skyscrapers. Which made it kind of fun for making the step-ups and ramps work, but that's what slabs are for. Still trying to figure out what I was going to do for the roof. That was debate. Wanted to do something light to help open it up. And speaking of lights, chiseled glowstone. It's great lights. I contemplated trying to wire it for lighting that turns on and off, but what town actually sleeps at night? What neighborhood needs to be in pitch black? So, glowstone it is, and the bright colored bricks. I'm still wanting suggestions for what to be in here. We'll be doing lots of signs for labeling what's where. And who might live where. If you want to sign up to live in a building, let me know. Still hadn't figured out what I wanted to do for the roof. I figured it would come to me eventually. And there's the purple wall. You know it. With each different color that I keep doing, I'm thinking that's going to be the front of a different abode. And I did not do any planning, logic, or measuring of those, so some will be big, some will be small. but they can all have a balcony if need be. I'm planning on interior. When I get to the interiors, I will probably do most of those places as either two-story or loft. Maybe with a live workspace, maybe some of them are completely workspace only. Oh, I decided on the roof. Looks like it's gonna be... what is that? Quarried stone, probably slabs, I think. I keep doing as I do the floor, the lights, I just run around the outside of the wall. I'm like, no, there's another home that's going there. And a lot of doing this, I tried to... I know I kept the bricks on my inventory and had like 2 other slots for rotation, so I had to keep running back and picking a block from back over there and placing it here, and then doing all those, and then going back and picking another. I don't know why I operated like that, but I did, and that's just the case. Personally, I'm just in love with the colorful of it. I mean, I can get away with the stark white of quarried stone around the elevators because everything else is like, blah, color. I think up at the top I was just kind of doing the walkways, however, but I think here I was trying to actually make the oak walkway continue, so up towards the top it actually breaks up a few times to where it's just the spruce. I may go back and fix it. I may have already gone back and fixed it and just don't remember. But I tell you, the one thing about the spiraling of it is even for me in building it, I'm like, am I at the bottom yet? I can't tell. How about now? Now? Are we close to the bottom? To answer the question right now, no, we're not. Even now I'm sitting here watching it and I'm asking again, are we there yet? I mean, there's trees outside, so we're at least getting down below the tree line. I am kind of glad for how high I did make between the floors. At first I was kind of like, that's really big, but no, that's gonna be like lofts. That's room for covering the ceiling and covering everything in, so calm down. And then I kept doubting, and then I got to here and I'm like, okay, fine. That's right, hand-placed everything. I imagine it's going to be wonderful now that I've closed all these different areas in. Everything that's going to spawn on the outside. Whoops! Didn't think that through. But yeah, now you can see why I wanted to leave the atrium open. It makes this somewhat narrow public walkway a lot bit more open. I will link again the Ellie Ward project inspiration that I did for this, and the camera, and I will also link the elevator programming, as well as the video that helped me through it. Well, actually the elevator video has the programming, so I'll just link the video. And I think that's all that I'm planning on needing for this. There may be more. By the way, no, we're not almost to the bottom. And I think my cameraman is sick of watching me again. Yep. Okay, bye. As I did have to go over there and have a talk. Can you actually look at me and not the elevator? And we sort of came to an accord on that. Sort of. Sort of, with a wide shot. Thanks. Jerk. But yeah, still pretty good views no matter which direction you're looking this. I'm totally okay with that. So those, yes, those are the links I'm giving. In return, suggestion for things inside. Or inhabitants of the building. It's got a nice green area underneath it. There's my little glass support. No, it's not the actual support, it's just still there. We'll go have a look and see what we've got going on here with today's work. Still haven't made it down to the lower floor, but we'll get there. Slowly, I'm almost there. That's gonna be a nice big house there. And then that one is not. Of course, that one could just be a business. That one's pretty reasonable sized. And the park. Willows and birches and clover, oh my! Thanks for watching, guys.